Ryan, you said you're good at nailing things
Yeah,
at an
30-degree
angle.
angles.
Only 30-degree angles.
30 degrees.
Up or down.
Peak performance. Uh, I don't know.
Call it what you want.
Down,
Um,
down.
like mother, like son.
Welcome to Just the Tip, a fantasy football podcast with your tippers, Matt, Disfatt-Bidge.
These are just our tips, so take them easy, take them hard. It's up to you.
Ryan, the Tagless Haynes,
Most bizarre Haynes brief that there's ever been.
and Matt, I.R. Regan.
Yeah, I hear you, and I definitely would take the shot on it because he'd be dumb not to.
Coming to you from the heart of New England. Get ready to take some tips.
And welcome into Just the Tip, a fantasy football podcast. Boys, we are 72 days away from NFL kickoff.
Whew.
It's
We got so
coming
much
at
to
you
do.
fast.
You're
we're-
saying I'm behind.
our chins are
Whew.
just above water. So, but don't worry, guys. It's the worst time of year. Hockey's over. NBA is over. Sorry, Regan. All we got to watch is baseball and golf. So, yep, we got nothing but time, right, Ryan?
Those are two great sports.
To not watch.
They play their part. We are recording on June 28th, 2022. We are your tippers, everything fantasy football and movies and TV. And some handyman stuff from Matt IR Regan. Regan, how you doing?
A little tired. Body feels like it should be on the IR after sleeping on the floor for a little bit last night. After my 3-year-old kicked me out of bed.
Oh, she is a beast. So, I mean, I'm sure you went flying.
I had the new baby in my spot, and then she took my spot and the rest of my spot. And my wife's got her body pillow that takes up, 90% of the bed as usual. So that was great.
Where was the dog?
The only one on the floor with me, laying right
Oh.
next to me. It was nice. I didn't really lay. I just waited for the other kid to fall asleep so I could launch her back in her bed.
There you go. So we also give parenting advice too. Ryan, how you doing, man? Did you have a good weekend?
I'm doing good, man. Yeah, I had a good weekend. I did watch a little bit of golf. How you guys feeling about this live golf situation? You hear anything about that?
What are you talking
Familiarize
about?
yourself
man?
with that? Oh man, there's so much drama in the golf
I know.
world.
It's intriguing. It's actually making me listen and read about this stuff. So, hey, go get your money, man. People aren't liking that they're not the monopoly anymore. So it's kind of funny.
Exactly. It's so dramatic. You got like dirty money, and this new league has like teams, like golf
Mhm.
teams, and it's like almost like stock car racing. It's interesting, but yeah, I don't know. It's a different sport. That's for damn sure.
And we just lost half our listeners because I think it's a golf podcast and not a fantasy football podcast.
You almost lost me, Ryan. So
We can't do that. Can't afford that. So yeah, we are coming from you, just some three best friends from New England. Used to play with each other. On the football
Finish
field,
that
that is.
Jesus.
Stepped on my. Never mind. Edit that out later. So yeah, we're just gonna give you our fantasy tips on the AFC South Division tonight. So hopefully it's real quick. We'll get it. Rip the Band-Aid off. Nice, quick, and
Ugh.
painful at first, but might find some gems here. Spoiler alert, probably won't. Bit top heavy. So tip-off question here, Ryan. What do we got?
Yeah, so this comes from Jake's Fantasy Football. He posted this question on Twitter yesterday, and it had a number of responses. So I figured I'd piggyback off of that. He asked, "Who is your favorite trio in the NFL right now? Quarterback, running back, wide receiver, or tight end?"
Or tight end.
Mm-hmm. Just three: quarterback, running back, wide receiver, or tight end.
All right, I will go first, so I don't have to think of another team. The Vikings go with Kirk Cousins, Dalvin Cook, and Justin Jefferson. You can have all three of those guys on your squad, and that'd be just fine. If you could get Dalvin Cook in the second, we'll see. Kirk Cousins late. I'm pretty high on the new offense that's going to be happening here. So, yeah, that's my team. For fantasy.
I like it. What do you got, Reeks? What do you think?
Oh, I don't know what you were going to go with, Ryan. I got two of them. I was leaning towards the little Bengals action, but I'm going to lean towards the Rams. And I'm literally just going to say my boy Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp, and Cam Akers. If he's up to it, if he's up to the challenge, he could be absolutely deadly going into this season. I was going to say that. Robert Woods, but he's gone. So
he is gone.
I was surprised because there were. I mean, Cooper Kupp over Robert Woods for sure. But I was surprised because the Rams didn't come up a lot in the thread. So the Bengals came up a lot. Burrow, Mixon, Chase.
Yeah.
My favorite this year, actually, which also wasn't brought up a whole heck of a lot. How about them Buccaneers? Tom Brady, Leonard Fournette, Mike Evans. Love it for this season.
Old reliable.
So that's my favorite trio right now.
That was my second choice, but yeah, that's a good one. Do you guys ever have three players on your squad at the same time? From the same team, rather?
Yes. Because I'm an idiot.
No, I mean, I won with Matt Ryan, Roddy White, and Tony Gonzalez. So it can work.
I
did win this year with Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp, and Tyler Higbee, but I wouldn't count Higbee as much.
Just about to say, I was just about to say that trio. I'm like, I think I had Stafford, Kupp, and Higbee at one point in one of my leagues last year.
But we're missing the running back, so I don't know.
Maybe you said or tight end.
Wide receiver or tight end. You got to have your running back. So
zip it.
I don't know.
Cooper Kupp ran the ball twice.
he could do it all. All right. Well, with that, if you haven't tuned out already, Apple Podcasts, if you could leave a review, be much appreciated, and Spotify as well. You can do that too. We're also on Google and Amazon Podcasts. Download the episodes, share our tips with your friends and family. You can watch us on YouTube. Just a Tip, a fantasy football podcast. Check out the ticker. Sometimes some overlays. Ryan, I have not read the ticker, but I'm sure it's hilarious. Thanks for setting that up.
It's pretty good.
It is pretty good.
Read it now.
You want to give a commentary to it, Regan?
No, I want to cry for the Saints fans.
Aw, that's mean. You can also check us out on Twitter, Just a Tip FFP, and Instagram and Facebook as well. TikTok. Setting up some nice reels over there on Instagram. Check it out if you like Top Gun.
This week was awesome.
And that took me like 2 weeks to splice together. So check it out. Give it a like.
It was worth it.
Be much appreciated. And with that, we will get into Haynes' briefs.
Sweet sassy molassy.
Ryan, is there any news worth of note?
Yeah, we got a few bits here, but first I'll say that Cooper Kupp could not do it all, and I had $50 that said otherwise. So he missed Matt Stafford by about 8 yards in the Super Bowl there with that pass that he threw to him. Still kind of haunts me, but yeah. So the little bit of news coming out of the NFL this week: Alvin Kamara, Reeks just touched on it, facing up to a 6-game suspension. Mark Ingram at this point is lining up to be the week 1 starter. He just is the guy who never seems to go away. Regan, do you want to elaborate a little bit further on how you feel about this?
Could we do a fart noise at all or anything, Matt?
We can. Yeah. I was trying to queue up something else, but
yeah. This is absolutely horrid. I'm literally in a dynasty draft right now, and I know the guy shooting himself in the foot that took him in the second round. That's rough. 6 games is a lot. Already on this team, we also don't know what they're going to look like going into this year. You got Jameis Winston back at the helm. Michael Thomas, is he going to play? Pull what out? I was kidding.
They're gonna
Anyway.
look like black and gold. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go.
Yeah, they're gonna be black and blue. Michael Thomas, we don't know if he's gonna play. Jarvis Landry, can he even do anything? And then it's just gross situation.
Wait, was that a punchy joke for Kamara? That was great.
Wow,
that was intentional.
Unintentional, but I like it. Cheers to that.
Yeah, I have him on one squad that I inherited, but luckily they had Ingram on their bench just in case, and I picked up Tony Jones as well just to make sure. Try to lock up that running back room. See what happens. What's the next round? Oh, I'm sorry.
That must not feel too good in the old belly thinking about starting Mark Ingram week 1 as your running back. But we'll see what happens. The other bit of news: the NFL is expected to push for a 1-year suspension of Deshaun Watson.
Bye-bye.
So hearing started today. It's going to extend into tomorrow, and it's probably going to extend a little bit further than that. The NFLPA is pushing for as little as no suspension. So where do you think this ends up? Where do you think the outcome ends up, Mac?
I don't know. It's a sticky situation, so I really don't want to get my hands on it. But yeah, the Ginger Hammer is like trying to lay down the law, huh?
Oh my god!
Roger Goodell would probably take 2 seasons away from him if he could. But yeah, the NFLPA is talking about Robert Kraft not getting in trouble, so it's not fair to Deshaun Watson. So it's got to get messy. Better get some towels ready.
Yeah, Robert Kraft had 1, and he had all of them.
25.
It was most likely consensual with Robert Kraft. But anyway, enough of that.
Yep, let's move on.
Not good.
So the last bit of news here, because I want to speed it up a little bit. Just an interesting note from the week. Sleeper has taken off the running back eligibility for Cordarrelle Patterson and has come out and said that Deebo Samuel will not have that running back designation. This is a bit impactful for fantasy. I mean, Cordarrelle Patterson was a very good running back 2 last year for a lot of people. And Deebo, obviously, if you could throw him into an RB position, that would be ideal. But Reeks, what are you thinking about this?
Yeah, that's rough. It definitely changes how some people probably thought they were going to go into their drafts, having a little bit of pliability per se, little Tom Brady action right there, to their roster. And, it's kind of rough, but at the same time, I don't really think, they get paid to be in a position. Just like what was it? Travis Kelce wanted to be paid as a wide receiver, but he's a tight end. It's just how it works out. You should have one tag. You move somewhere else. That's what you are. It's tough to be jumping around like that, especially with fantasy. It's already confusing as it is. Points sometimes don't add up. Whatever it may be. I just keep it simple, keep it sweet. So I'm fine with this.
Mac, you keeping it simple and sweet, or do you like the versatility of this?
I like the advantage that you would have of being able to put them in whatever spot you needed according to your bye week needs. But I get it. They explained on their Twitter. I'll retweet it. Just a tip, FFP. Check it out. It's basically saying they're trying to relay what reality football is to fantasy football. So if they're not assigned that position, they're really not going to do that. But Cordarrelle Patterson ran out of the backfield a lot. And I don't know. I didn't have him on my team, so I didn't see if they switched it. But during the season, they'll probably switch. If Deebo's used as a running back again, they might make him eligible again. So it doesn't affect my ADP with him. But for Cordarrelle Patterson to go down a round or 2?
Yeah, I would probably say so. I mean, I haven't thought about it all that much, to be honest with you. I mean, the production's still going to be there, but I'd have to look into how he would compare to other wide receiver 3 or 4 options.
I'm trying
And
to see
that's-
if it was updated at all, but yeah, I think it knocks him down a round.
I'd say that's fair. All right, enough talk about Cordarrelle Patterson. Let's move this along.
All right. Thank you, sir. So yeah, like we said at the top, we are going to break down the AFC South Division, and remember, we are not paid fantasy analysis experts. Wow, start that over.
Clear your throat. Don't
Yeah.
forget about the Hurt Locker.
Yeah, what I just read that on the doc. I was a little confused by you jumping over that. Is she okay?
I didn't really want to bring down the mood, but she's in the hospital right now.
Oh, come on, man. Is she okay? For real?
Regan, is there anybody hurt currently in the NFL? Nowhere else in life that we care about. Just the NFL.
Jeez, dude. Not that I know of. A couple holdouts of OTAs and whatnot, but nothing to be worried about just yet.
Yeah, it seems like everybody that I'm reading is in the best shape of their life, and they never looks
Always.
better. So,
Looking for trades, apparently.
Yeah, definitely. We didn't touch on the one big news today, Ryan. Terry McLaurin being signed.
Oh yeah, I forgot to add that. I did put it in the.
It's in the ticker, but
It's in the
I was just reading it. So yeah, 3 years deal, $72 million. What was it?
Something along those lines. Let me look it up real quick. But yeah, he's I don't know how I feel about this. I was really looking forward to him going to like Green Bay or something.
Hey, still could happen.
Oh,
A sign
man.
and trade like it's the NBA. While you're looking that up, we will get into the AFC South. I do not have a job for that. Yeah, I know. Let's make it real quick for you, Regan. We'll start off with the stellar Jacksonville Jaguars, 3-14 last year, 4th in the AFC South. Shocker. Key additions: Christian Kirk at wide receiver with Zay Jones wide receiver, paid them the money to get down there, and then Evan Ingram at tight end. Interesting. We're going to use Fantasy Pros ADP. It's a great site. Go check that out. They do all the work, so we don't have to. Not as much anyway. But yeah, who wants to lead off first? Me? You? Me?
Take
him?
it. Take
him?
it.
Me? You? Him?
I really want to hear about the guy you got to talk about because I drafted him in my fantasy league way too early.
What's too early for you?
4th round.
All right. Well, that's not too bad. Travis Etienne, running back. The running back.
Last pick of the 4th, by the way.
Last pick of the 4th? Oh, that's fine. Where is it?
Running back. The running back, y'all.
So, yeah, we all know the story. His rookie year was cut short, shut down after he suffered a Liz Frank injury, which is the arch of his foot. The cartilage got ripped off the bone, something like that. Anyway, had to get surgery, so they shut him down in the first game of the preseason. I don't know. It's against the Saints. Doesn't really matter.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, he is fully healthy right now. You can check it out on Twitter. I tweeted out his video of him working out. He looks good, man. All the injury experts are saying that if he hasn't fully recovered, he would not be moving this way at full speed. So all my worries, all my caution, I'm done with it. I'm definitely looking to get Etienne at his current ADP right now, which is at 48th overall. So right where you took him, Regan, end of the 4th round.
Nice.
It's not bad. 23rd running back off the board. I think he's going to be better than the 23rd running back. We'll see, though. If you want to read more on his injury outlook, blackandteal.com. Carlos Sanchez has a column on it. Pretty good read there. It'll take you 5 minutes to read it. Not a big deal. Took me like 7, but besides the point. So I'm hoping that his ADP won't climb too much higher so that you all sleep on him and then you go ahead with Ezekiel Elliott or Ryan, J.K. Dobbins or Travis Etienne. Who are you taking?
Ooh, right now I think Etienne. To be honest with you, dude.
Yeah,
easy choice.
Why is that? Dobbins having split carries, the running quarterback. What's your?
It's got to be the running quarterback, splitting carries. Like Etienne, volume is everything. We talked about this, and we don't know when James Robinson's coming back. We don't know when he's going to be healthy. Etienne is so versatile. I'm excited about this, dude. I'm on the train. I am on the train.
That's good. And caveat: J.K. Dobbins was a full go. That's what I would say. You could draft him at that. No. We'll see. I'm saying in that hypothetical question, Regan.
I heard different.
My bad. My bad. Just wanted to clarify. Yeah, he might start on the PUP list. Is that what I was reading? That wasn't in the injury report.
And Gus could possibly, but they also both could possibly be 100% go. So that's Baltimore for you.
Yeah, I don't trust them almost as much as I don't trust San Fran. But anyway, Etienne, he's definitely going to be getting the work out of the backfield. They got athletic linemen for the screenplays. That's Peterson's style, and Press Taylor, their offensive coordinator, Zach Taylor's younger brother. If you look at, so we don't have a rookie season to go off his stats. So look at his last 2 seasons with Clemson. He had 37 receptions and 48 receptions. And look at that he doesn't have much competition in the backfield like James Robinson. He looks like he might be starting on the PUP list or at least missing the first month. I love Etienne as my running back too. I'm going to go running back, wide receiver, and then take Etienne and take that upside. Thoughts on Etienne, guys?
What if he's my first running back?
That's not good.
It's not a bad thing. If you go 0 running back, right, for the first 3 rounds and Etienne's your running back 1 in round 4, I don't think that's a bad thing. If you can come around and sneak like Josh Jacobs in the 5th somehow, I think that would be really good value for sure.
It's like Josh you were looking Jacobs at his draft board.
Got him in the 6th.
You guys know how much I love Josh Jacobs, and in the 6th round of a super flex, that's a steal.
Cam Akers and Josh Jacobs in the 6th. I obviously
it's dynasty, and yeah, they're young. It's good. I like it.
I'm feeling it. Getting a little blush over here and getting all excited.
Yeah, I'm getting nervous. I threw up a little bit in my mouth.
Oh, gross.
Speaking of throwing up in my mouth, have you seen this next guy's contract?
I don't know why that make you throw up.
Because he destroyed the wide receiver market for the entire NFL offseason and for the future. Christian Kirk, after his best season ever, hit like 1,000 yards, and that was about it, like 1,003 or something stupid like that. Got paid $84 million, the 3rd highest paid.
Take ass.
That's what he does.
That's literally what he did. So $84 million, like I said, and he is the 3rd highest paid wide receiver per year in the NFL. This is for, in my eyes, at best, a wide receiver 2.
On the low end. On the low end.
Well, I have him as a wide receiver 3, and I think he can go to a wide receiver 2, and that's where I'm pretty much going to be drafting him as. They paid so much money for him; they are going to use him as such. That being said, he's new to the system. Lawrence got off to somewhat of a slow start last year, so I'm waiting to see what he really can do this year. I'm not holding anything against him. I'm excited to see the Jags this year. I think their offense is a little bit different. Obviously a couple coach changes will definitely help. But when it comes to Christian Kirk, I don't want everyone to be like, "Oh my God, he's getting paid like a number 1. Let's go get him. He could be my number 1, number 2 wide receiver of the day at your draft. Absolutely not. If you are able to get him as a wide receiver 3 price, he's going at wide receiver 47, 110 off the board. So was that like 8th round, something like that, 7th round. So, if I can get him late, I'm going for it. If I can get him as a wide receiver 3, 4, I'm definitely doing it. I'm looking at the upside there, but that's it. Mac, I don't like that.
I'm trying to find him. No, I'm trying to find him on the list. Yeah. 43. Yeah. 109.
47. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Looking at
if you're trying to load up on running backs, if you're taking that approach, Christian Kirk as a wide receiver 3 would be really good value.
Oh yeah.
I'd rather have him as a wide receiver 4, but it all depends on your strategy. So if I'm trying to get that depth at running back, I got 3, 4 backs. I think he's a guy that you could throw into your flex or your 3rd wide receiver spot and be pretty happy with that. It's going to be interesting to see how this offense pans out. There's a lot of new weapons, and it's basically a brand new offense, even with Etienne. I know he was with the team last year, but coming off that injury. So new coach, new players. We have no idea what this offense is going to look like.
That's the problem. You said it right, though. As in, if you got running back heavy, you could go for him a little bit earlier, make him your wide receiver 3, and so on. So I like what you're talking about. Mac, anything else to add on this guy that destroyed the wide receiver market?
Not really him, just how the offense is going to look like. Expect tight ends to be involved and passes out of the backfield to Etienne, the wide receivers. So hopefully the OC, Press Taylor, learned from his lessons with Chip Kelly and then with Doug Peterson in Philadelphia, and they all got fired. So they didn't like his play calling, and the wide receivers didn't really work out there in Philly. So hopefully it works. Luckily, they go against the Texans twice a year. So
who wins? Actually, I don't know.
Let's split it. Ryan, who do you got?
All right, so I have another newcomer, Evan Ingram, and I don't really know. This is the same thing. Like, I don't know what to make of this guy this year. So 2018, 2019, battles a couple of injuries, doesn't play in too many games. Last 2 years, stays healthy, plays in 31 games across those 2 years, but still not putting up really any kind of fantasy viable numbers. Last year, 46 receptions, 400 yards, 3 touchdowns. So hard to tell whether or not that was a product of the coaching, of the quarterback, of the offense. Is it Evan Ingram? It's so hard to sort out. The concern that I have this year with the Jaguars is Dan Arnold, who had a decent rapport with Trevor Lawrence last year, is returning. So I'm afraid that he's going to take a lot of targets away from Evan Ingram, much like Kyle Rudolph did last year with the Giants. I get why you would want to take Ingram in this draft. I get like what you're saying, Mac. The tight end should be used a little bit more. Especially with Doug Peterson. I mean, he loved that like Ertz-Goddard combo. I'm a little concerned about Ingram. I just think there's better guys that you could target later in the draft that have a better shot of being a tight end 1. And those guys are Robert Tonyan, who's going to be heavily targeted this year, and obviously a huge red zone threat with Aaron Rodgers. Gerald Everett with the Chargers. You have the quarterback, great quarterback situation there with Justin Herbert. And then Tyler Higbee with Matt Stafford. So you have better quarterback situations, more established teams, better teams. I also have one other sleeper who I think is a better value too, and that's Hayden Hurst at 190 with the Bengals. So I'm staying away from Evan Ingram, but if you're going to draft him in one of the later rounds, 12th, 13th, 14th round, I'm okay with that too.
If you guys let me wait that long to draft a tight end, do not let me get on the show ever again. I'm okay if you're going to stream him or you take a backup tight end. That's all right. At that ADP, whatever, it's a dart throw. But yeah, I don't think he's going to get higher than tight end 15. I'm not excited. No. You're just going to get a couple of weeks out of him. That's it. So streamer for me. I wouldn't even bother drafting him. Like you said, Tonyan doesn't have to compete with anybody except Mercedes Lewis, who is 17th season.
I know.
Longest, the last guy from the 2006 draft. So, or Gerald Everett, like you said. Much rather take one of those guys.
Robert Tonyan's coming off, and we'll talk about him when we do the North. But I mean, 2020 tight end 3. Last year hurt. We don't know what this year is going to bring. So he's a really good value at where his ADP is right now.
Rodgers needs a red zone target. So, yeah, like you said, we'll get into that later. Regan, anything else on that? I know you love your tight ends.
Don't draft him. Don't draft him.
All right.
Simple enough. A lot of these are going to be like that. There's really not too much commentary about some of these players.
So there's like 2 players from this team that we could draft, Etienne and
Trevor Lawrence.
Kirk.
Christian Kirk. I wouldn't even draft Trevor Lawrence.
I wouldn't even draft
quarterback
Trevor
leagues.
Yeah, Captain Kirk, maybe.
I have a lot of 2 quarterback leagues. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, there you go. You're in that mode.
Though.
I get it. Next team, Houston Texans, 4-13. Look at that. So much better. 3rd in the AFC South. Some key fantasy additions. The rookies, John Mechie, the III. Oh, the 3rd. Excuse me. They picked him in the 2nd round, but he's still dealing with some nagging injuries. So I was going to talk about him, but he's going to be a late dart throw. Damian Pierce, running back, round 4 that they took. And then Marlon Mack, their veteran running back. What do we know about the Texans, guys? They love their veteran running backs. So look for Marlon Mack to get the workload. They're going to roll him out this year, and then he's going to roll right into your lineups just as bye week filler. That's it. You're not looking for him to be on your top 5. Get a stream him.
Rex Burkhead? Don't like him?
Yeah, Rex Burkhead won't last the season. So I'd rather take my chances with Marlon Mack with like my double-digit rounds. Take a shot on him. So he has been a running back too, the low end side of it. He had 9 touchdowns and 8 touchdowns in 2018 and 2019. So he can be a 1,000-yard rusher too. And we have seen his average over 4 yards per carry. So I'm totally all right drafting him. Your shot at 161 overall. So after the 12th round, it really doesn't matter. You're not going to go breaking it down and like who has the most opportunity is what you're looking for, the most volume, not looking at stats and everything. So know the tendencies. Lovie Smith is a coach now at the Houston Texans. Excuse me. It's a bridge year. They're just going to go with the vet. If he gets 15 carries, rolls into the end zone, 50 yards, you'll be happy with that as a bye week filler. So, yeah, if you want to hold on to him after the 12th round, that's fine, or pick him up off of waivers.
The biggest risk come draft time in the 12th round is making sure that you are not so drunk where you can actually pick a guy who is rostered on an NFL team.
I've seen it happen.
Or not already
many
out
times
for the year.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I can't believe he fell this far. That's because he's out for the season.
Should we remove those stickers? Just say. Just kidding.
No.
Don't do it.
That's a good poll right there.
No, we're not that friendly. Regan, who do you got?
I have, Mr. Old Reliable, Brandon Cooks, fellas. Now, Mac was really high on him last year, and I think he really sold it to me and Ryan. I know I tried stealing him from Mac in a couple leagues because of Mac's positivity on him, and honestly, it was a great call. Guys, the past 6 years, he has not finished out of top 20 wide receiver in PPR. It's absolutely amazing. Now he's just making it or whatever, and it's like really close. But he's on the Texans right now. He's been on like 12 teams that I can count on one finger, one hand.
You really?
It was a joke.
How is that possible?
Because I exaggerated 12, exaggerated how many.
I know, I got
it's
you.
Cool. Anyways, in the last 4 games last year with Davis Mills at the helm, he was playing like a wide receiver 10 on the season. And I am ecstatic about that because you are drafting him in the 6th or 7th round, wide receiver 37. That's probably about the 83rd pick overall, and that is great value. You're getting a wide receiver 2 at pretty much a wide receiver 3 value. Obviously, if wide receivers, like if I'm drafting, he's definitely wide receiver 3 in this draft. But anyways, I'm going to grab him. He's 28 years old, yes, but he just signed another 2-year extension to his deal. He is not slowing down anytime soon, especially in redraft. I'm going heavy on him, and if I can get him as my wide receiver 3, I'm so happy. Let's wait until the season starts rolling, but he might move up the board. I'm picturing this guy moving up the board. He's already at wide receiver 37, so he's probably going to be a wide receiver 2 draft-wise. Are you guys drafting him in the 6th round, or do you think he's going to move up? Mac, I'll throw it to you because you were so high on him last year. I wanted to look up his ADP of last year. I zoned that out, but it was pretty late. It was like 8th or 9th round last year.
Yeah, it almost got to double digits, but
Yeah.
it's because their quarterback room was Tyrod Taylor and Mills, so
Gross.
not much confidence in that. Yeah, like you said, old reliable as your wide receiver 3, get consistent points. I like it. Just right now as ADP, you got more intriguing names. Michael Thomas, if he's able to go at the beginning of the season, he'll probably bump up ahead of him. So
I got
Brandon
Brandon
Cooks
Cooks above
drops
him.
down. You got him above him? All right.
Yep.
I'm just saying guys in the ballpark. I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
not
that's a
being
great
specific.
name right there, though.
Or Gabriel Davis. Do you want to take the 1 on a crappy offense, or do you want to take the 2?
He's the 2.
The 3 Gabriel Davis on one of the best offenses in the league? Or do you want to take a shot at Allen Robinson with the Rams? Eesh. I don't know.
I want Brandon Cooks in all these scenarios.
Okay.
Yes, I would agree with that.
I think I would, besides the Gabriel Davis one. I think I'm the only high one on Gabriel Davis. So
I'm definitely high on him, but his floor is definitely there, though. Just saying. His ceiling's real high, but
it's not like it's gonna lose you the season. Just kidding. It might. These picks are important right there in those middle rounds, so watch out. Brandon Cooks, Ryan, you gonna steal him from me too?
Yeah, I guess T.Y. Hilton didn't outperform Brandon Cooks last year, as I predicted at the beginning of last season. So I was brand new to the game at that point. Now I know better. Brandon Cooks is Mr. Consistent. I mean, this guy, if you could take him in any time past round 6, I think you're sitting in a really good spot. Like Reeks was saying, if you can have him as a wide receiver 3, and he's going to put up wide receiver 2 numbers, and you almost can guarantee that, perfect. Grab him. He's always a great value. And he's also a good trade chip, and you never draft guys to think about like trading them in the future. At least I don't, but he's a guy that like when teams are kind of grasping at consistency week 6, week 7, week 8, because they have a number of injuries or inconsistent performers, they're going to look at guys like Brandon Cooks, and you can get a decent haul for him.
What's his value in Dynasty right now?
I could tell you where he went.
Yeah, let us know.
I'm saying like trading for him right now, because if you need that consistent flex play, I don't know. Is he worth a second?
If you are a contender, you're going to have a late 23 first pick, you could trade that pick.
If
only 11.6.
11.6. Yeah, that's about right. Like you said, he's 28, but I mean, like Robert Woods is 30. So, and people are wanting second round picks for Robert Woods. No, thank you.
Yeah, I would say this, Mac. I'm going to go back to that dynasty question. I would probably say that he's a second round pick in 23, and then probably an additional player.
Right on. What do you got? Are we even wasting our time with this guy? Come on.
Yeah, let me just touch on him real quick. Davis Mills, ADP, quarterback 29. That's where he finished last year. And the biggest thing I want to focus on here is that you're not going to draft Davis Mills. That's going to be out of the question. But you might be able to stream him. In his first 5 games last year as a rookie, faced some pretty stiff competition, 912 yards, 5 touchdowns, 7 picks. Last 5 games, 1,258 yards, 9 touchdowns, 2 picks. If he puts up those numbers that he did and averages out what he did in those last 5 games, he could be a regular starting quarterback in your lineup. He could be a quarterback 1. Those are quarterback 1 type numbers. So just really keep an eye on Davis Mills and see how he's doing. If he comes out of the gates hot week 1, he might be worth picking up and stashing on your lineup.
Agreed. I like it, especially against the Patriots.
Ugh.
Oh my God. Don't bring that up.
He lit him up.
Sad. It was sad.
He sure did.
A lot. Also, another
Are
guy
you worried?
got it.
Are you worried that like he really doesn't have much weapons though, as we just went through the team? So
I'm a bit worried about it. I mean, those last 5 games last year, the only person that he had was Brandon Cooks. It's a very similar situation. It's definitely a concern.
Collins, yeah.
Yeah, Brevin Jordan, John Mechie, if he ends up coming back. I know he's got some ACL issues, but
yeah, hope so.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right. Wasted too much time on the Texans. Next team, Indianapolis Colts, 9-8. They choked at the end of the season. Second in the AFC South. So they got some rookies, Alec Pierce, wide receiver, and then they traded for Matt Ryan and running back Philip Lindsay. Who wrote this? Come on. Relevant fantasy players, please. I'm just kidding. He'll be a great handcuff for you. Michael Pittman, though, the wide receiver, his ADP is currently at 45 overall, 45th overall. I got to be honest, though, guys. I think that's going to drop at least another round. Because when you're looking at him during your mock drafts, you got guys like Metcalf, Deontay Johnson, Terry McLaurin, who just got signed, and DJ Moore. And then J.K. Dobbins and Breece Hall, if you want to look at the running backs. I think people are going to take those names, the name recognition. Michael Pittman, he's not a sexy name. Sexy guy, but, I mean, he's a stud. But it's just not somebody that you're thinking is going to carry my team. But he did finish as the wide receiver 17 last year, and that's what he's currently ranked right now. So the one thing I do like about this guy on this team is he really doesn't have much of a competition in the passing game. So Matt Ryan as a new quarterback, he's got to have a go-to guy, and reports are that him and Pittman are doing well together. Apparently, Matt Ryan's never looked better, according to Frank Reich. So we'll see. I think anything's better than Carson Wentz, though. So if Pittman can get 129 targets, but only 88 receptions last year, I'm hoping those receptions will be up higher with a more accurate thrower and Matt Ryan behind a better offensive line than what Matt Ryan was last year. But yeah, Pittman will be his most reliable target, so look for him to target him more. I don't know. Are you guys going to take the chance on him over any of those other receivers I said? Metcalf, McLaurin, DJ Moore, Deontay Johnson. I think he's ranking last, even though he's smack dab in the middle of those.
Go ahead, Reeks. I'll let you answer that.
Yeah, honestly, I think Mac just said it. Out of those 4 guys, I think I have him as last. I definitely like Deontay Johnson more. DK Metcalf, obviously, if Baker Mayfield goes to Seattle or something like that, I'd feel even better about that. McLaurin just signed. DJ Moore. I might have him in front of DJ Moore, but not by much, if at all.
I think I differ from you guys here. Here's my cop statistically from Michael Pittman, Brandon Cooks. I mean, he seems like a guy that's going to be a top 20 receiver just based off of opportunity and having some decent quarterback play. I mean, 88 receptions with Carson Wentz last year is pretty impressive. And when you look at some of these other guys in their situations, DK Metcalf, he's got Drew Lock throwing him the ball. Terry McLaurin, he's got Carson Wentz throwing him the ball. DJ Moore, he's got who knows throwing him the ball? Sam Darnold or Golden
Cam
Corral,
Newton.
Cam Newton.
Corral.
I mean, and Deontay Johnson's the only guy that I think I would consider maybe over Michael Pittman, but I think he's the number one target. He doesn't have a lot of, like you said, Mac, he doesn't have a lot of competition. He has a good quarterback, a good running game, a good O-line, like all of the components are there. The only thing I worry about is that he doesn't have a solid number two to pull some of that attention off of him. Hasn't affected Brandon Cooks, though. Might not affect Michael Pittman.
Damn it, he sold me.
The number 2 is Jonathan Taylor pulling in that defense so he could get open. So that's what I'm hoping for. But yeah, I'm actually thinking if Drew Lock's on Metcalf the ball, I think I'd rather go with a consistent play. It's just the 4th round. Yes, Brandon Cooks, but you're paying a higher price for him. But higher upside. So get what you paid for. Right.
Very true.
Regan.
Yeah, you got me sold, Ryan. And I think this me talking about the next guy is probably going to help you out your whole battle, anyways. But that's Matty Ice, Matt Ryan. Rank I have him at QB 25, so ADP 171. Who cares about that right now? Anyways, he's going very late. This is a very tough one for me, just because I love Matty Ice. But I'm also really excited what he could possibly do. So 2 years ago, guys, he was QB 5 with Calvin Ridley. Last year, not so much. Not so much QB 5, not so much Calvin Ridley. Needless to say. Pro Fantasy Focus ranked Atlanta's line second to last last year. He was getting absolutely pummeled behind the line, being rushed absurdly. That being said, he's still ranked 22nd in passing in a clean pocket. 12th passing in a clean pocket. Second in short throws and 9th over on early downs. So he still did absolutely what you would expect Matt Ryan to do, even being pressured. So I love this. He's obviously going to the Colts that have a stellar line compared to Atlanta. Well, pretty much everyone does. But either way, we saw what Jonathan Taylor does behind there. So I'm so pumped about that. And also the Colts offense definitely involves more screen plays and more pass play action plays. That's going to get the pressure out of Matty Ice's face. Let him, air it out to Pittman or, Jonathan Taylor. Give him some more time. I think this is going to help out Matt Ryan so much, and that's probably why he's looking so much better. He probably feels so much more comfortable not having these pass rushers meet him right when he snaps the ball. It's got to be an amazing feeling for him. So he's going to a team that pretty much seemed like all they needed was a QB. They tried to do it with Carson Wentz, and it just didn't work out. I think they have a very smart move right here, grabbing Matt Ryan. Maybe, a Peyton Manning situation. He comes in and gets his team pretty far. I could definitely see that. Definitely see this team getting pretty far, especially midseason if they grab somebody else. That will only help Matt Ryan even more. So he's being ranked as a QB2 or whatever. He is going to definitely be a QB2, but he will definitely have splashes of QB1 throughout the season. I'm really excited about this guy, and I am definitely going to take him as my second QB, where I could possibly throw him in more than my starter. And then I would love this guy as my QB2 in a 2 QB league. Obviously, I'll be getting a backup just in case it doesn't work out, but I don't see this not working out for him. You're not going to go from such a shitty team last year to go to such an upgrade and not do okay. Not do something with it. It's Matt Ryan we're talking about here. Yes, he's old, but the guy's still an MVP caliber player. Well, Hall of Fame player. Boys, what do you think?
I was gonna say MVP is a bit strong, but yeah,
I didn't mean MVP.
Definitely, I know, I got you. Yeah, no, oh God.
Sorry,
Just
caught
caught
me
me
off
off
throat.
guard there. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, streamer quarterback. I don't really take backup QBs when I'm drafting anyway, but yeah, keep an eye on him.
I'll tell you what,
he can only go up.
I think with all this movement this offseason, the best moves of the offseason came from the Colts, where they traded Carson Wentz for a second round pick and then flipped a 3rd-round pick for Matt Ryan. So they upgraded their quarterback and they moved up around. That was some gold.
Wild.
But I think Matt Ryan does have I think he has a big year. And your play action point was exactly what I was thinking, Reeks. Like play action with Mike Davis and Cordarrelle Patterson is not nearly as effective as play action with Jonathan Taylor. So I think that's going to open up Pittman a lot. I think that's going to open up other guys, their 2nd, 3rd receivers, Mo Alley Cox. Exactly. So yeah, I'm on board with this offense this year for sure.
And to go off your idea about Pittman, Pittman obviously has to be better than McLaurin then, since they just switched quarterbacks. With the Wentz being with McLaurin, he's definitely going to suck if Pittman sucked with him.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It's dead.
Yeah,
not necessarily, but I do think that like
the
McLaurin's talent's better, but I get what you're saying.
Yes.
Better QB, yeah.
So I'll go into this last guy here, Nyheim Hines. Nyheim Hines is always an interesting fantasy option. Always somebody that tends to be drafted late in drafts and ends up being inserted into lineups for 4 or 5 weeks throughout the season. Frank Wright, the coach of the Colts, says everybody's got to draft him this year. He says his usage is going to be up. Taylor's usage is going to be down a little bit, or Taylor's snap percentage, I should say, is going to be down a little bit. His usage will probably be about the same. ADP right now is running back 46, finished as 48 last year. I'll get straight to the point here. Where his ADP is right now at 128, that lines up about round 10, mid to late round 10. Slim pickings at running back at this point. So the next 3 guys on the board, Dameon Pierce, 139, Mostert, 146, Khalil Herbert, 152. You could make arguments that Pierce and Mostert are better values, but I'm okay taking Nyheim Hines. Round 10, round 11, as your running back 4, he's going to get some opportunity throughout the season. You know that even if Taylor plays, he's probably still going to catch 3-4 balls a game, and in PPR formats, he's still going to get some points. Taylor goes down. He's the number 1. Nyheim Hines is a good value pick around that point, mid round 10, 11. If you can get him later than that, then that's really, really good value, and you don't even have to hesitate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, agreed. He's always a waiver wire pickup at some point during the season, so get out ahead of it.
Yes.
You're better to save that fab for somebody else and just spend that double-digit round pick on him. I like it. Regan?
Yeah, to me, it's just strictly a stash play. Grab him now when you can get him so low. You're not fighting enough free agency later on and so on. And, maybe he pans out for you. This is one of those guys where the ceiling could be really high, but you just don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
At some point in the season,
involved. So
yes, at some point in the season, he will be involved more.
Oh yeah.
All right. I like it. Tennessee Titans 12-5, first in the AFC South. Somehow, some way, they pulled it through. So they grabbed Treylon Burks, their wide receiver, and Hassan Haskins and Malik Willis as their backup QB, who is not competing for the starting job. So don't draft him in your 2 QB leagues if you are looking for a possible starter. Wide receiver Robert Woods and tight end Austin Hooper, who turns out to be Tannehill's favorite target. But speaking of House Tannister, he always pays his debts, and I am sorry. I was high on him last year because of the year before, and he really let us down. So he will be better this year, right? With Robert Woods coming off his season-ending injury, a rookie wide receiver who can't finish a practice, and a running back that will take all the touchdowns from him, and Derrick Henry. But hey, he's a QB that gets you 20-plus points per game. If you want that consistent quarterback, you go with Tannehill in the later rounds, 12th round. Go ahead and, if you wait that long, go ahead and take him. Unless you want to take Jameis Winston. Regan, would you rather that?
A lot more upside.
Oh, okay. How about Jared Goff, Ryan? Ooh. Jared Goff or Ryan Tannehill.
This could be a hard pass for me, bro.
Yeah, I would have done that as well.
I'm going to change your guys' mind when we talk about the Lions. Spoiler alert. Or tease, rather. So,
also a guy I grabbed in Dynasty.
Oh, good for you. Good job. I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I like a QB that's going to be a contender in the division. So, they're going to have to throw. They're going to have to make plays, especially in the 2-minute offense, where you get those points. It could be either garbage time or coming back to win the game and going into overtime like they like to do. So keep that in mind. But I'm hoping Derrick Henry actually stays healthy. I know I'm saying he robs the touchdowns, but when he went out and A.J. Brown finally came back with Julio Jones and they were actually kind of healthy, Tannehill did look better. So I'm hoping with Derrick Henry and semi-reinforcements at wide receiver, the play action will work and he won't be stuck at throwing only 21 touchdowns. That really hurt him last year. He needs to be closer to 30 touchdowns on the season. So I'd rather not draft him. I think I'm with you, Regan. Take a shot on Jameis Winston, maybe. But then again, you look at his weapons, and it's not that great either.
Not for 6 weeks.
We'll see. But yeah, so I'd rather not draft him, but definitely keep a night's watch on him.
Good advice. Good tips.
Wow. He snuck that in there, and I was like, why is Ryan smiling? Oh. I like it.
Can't get the drop. Anyway, thoughts on Ryan Tannehill or just move on?
No, I think we can move on. I'll just say that I think that we just talked about how important play action will be to Matt Ryan. That is definitely the case for Ryan Tannehill. So if Derrick Henry stays healthy, you'll probably see more production for sure, like you're saying.
All right, so we'll keep this dead horse moving. Robert Woods, guys, is up next. I want to be more positive about this guy, but he's 30, coming off a torn ACL, season-ending injury. He was wide receiver 17. He was wide receiver 17 before going down with the injury, which is really rough. That being said, this Tennessee offense is nothing like the pass-happy Rams. So I do not see him being anything of sorts of a wide receiver 17. His ADP is wide receiver 52, 120. He's going around round 10, round 11. I'm not even trying to grab him at that point. I feel like obviously Derrick Henry really is going to have the bulk of the carries, the bulk of the ball touches for this offense. So I'm really expecting a lot of boomer bust games. You're going to have just a random game that he's going to have like 2 deep passes because Derrick Henry's been killing this team and they just, they go soft in the secondary and he breaks one off or something like that. But it's going to be way too inconsistent for me to even want to deal with this, especially with this offense in general. That's really it, guys. What I'm telling you guys is to stay away. You could take a shot. I definitely wouldn't mind taking a shot like around 14, 15 if you can get him as like, your 6th wide receiver and just stash him, see what happens. But we don't know how he's going to be coming off the ACL. He's 30 years old. He's coming to an offense that doesn't throw the ball for shit. I'm all set. Everything is leading. All signs point to a no-go.
He's looking good, though. He's looking good. All reports.
Okay.
All right.
So do you feel otherwise?
Yeah. I want to take the bet, I think, over Treylon Burks, who can't stay on the field. But would you take Treylon Burks instead?
Oh, you know what? I wouldn't, just because of the fact that it's a veteran QB. I feel like he'll just stick with the, instead of going to a rough rookie that can't run his routes right and stay on the field, he's going to go to the Robert Woods that knows how to run an out route the right way. It's just what's going to happen.
And we know Ryan Tannehill doesn't like rookies, apparently. He's not there to mentor him. What about Christian Kirk? We talked about him earlier. Would you rather Christian Kirk?
Oh,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. Christian Kirk's a couple spots after.
47 I have Christian Kirk, and Woods at 52. So 5 spots.
Wow. Alrighty.
Yeah, I think they're comparable, and I think Christian Kirk over Robert
Mm-hmm.
Woods. I would feel more comfortable doing that.
I think you're just going to have a little bit more consistency, Mac. I think Woods, at the end of the year, he might finish better, maybe. But I think you're going to have more consistent play throughout the season with Kirk. I got a feeling our rankings are going to be crazy this year.
Yeah, I was going to say. Interesting. I
Could
don't
be.
think I agree. But, Ryan, who do you got? Last guy for tonight.
Austin Hooper. So this is a name that really you haven't mentioned in fantasy, it seems, for the last 2 years. It's like you want to mention him. You want him to be good. You want him to return to form from 2019. But he's just going to do it in Cleveland. And this is another unknown situation. We don't know what this is going to look like. Like Max said, early reports are that him and Tannehill have a really good connection. David Njoku did take a lot of volume away from Austin Hooper last year. So Hooper had 61 targets and Njoku had 53. This year's only competition, Jeff Swaim, who had 40 targets last year. So I do think that Hooper has the right situation to get maybe not return to his 2018 and 19 form, but maybe to get back in that tight end 1 conversation, 10, 11, 12, somewhere around there. I mean, if you're looking at where he's going right now, round 14, round 15. So you got Chuba Hubbard, Alec Pierce, Mark Ingram. If you're already set at running back and wide receiver, you maybe you don't have a kicker or a defense in your league.
Or your third QB.
If you do have the kicker and defense position, you might take those over Austin Hooper. But I'm saying maybe you don't. Maybe he's worth being drafted this year. Maybe he's worth taking a flyer on, because you just don't know how much of that was Baker Mayfield, the offense, Cleveland, whatever the case may be. He could. I mean, tight ends is such a wild card position. He could be a top 10 tight end.
Yeah, maybe a little
where it's at.
Delaney Walker dependency, or production rather. If Tannehill's dependent on him like that, I could see it happening, because all you got is Robert Woods and Treylon Burks. That's it. So I don't mind taking a late flyer on him.
Can I ask you then, real quick, before we move on? Would you? I know we talked about Ingram before. We talked about the guys around him. So Hooper or Ingram?
Probably Hooper.
Hooper or Higbee?
Dick.
If I'm waiting this long for a tight end anyway, I hate myself, but I'll probably take the chance with Hooper.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Higbee,
because Hooper doesn't have to compete with Kupp.
And you're also saying, Mac, maybe pass on Higbee and take Hooper maybe a round or 2 later.
If I'm going that late, I'm not taking Higbee ever again after last year. Wasn't his fault.
Right.
Wasn't his fault. It was Sean McVay's fault. Anyway.
I think there's some interesting tight ends late in this year for sure. Yeah.
Tight ends to go around. All right, guys. What was that, Regan?
Tight ends are tough to draft. It's absurd every single year.
It's depressing. It's terrible. It's not a deep class, or deep position rather. All right, let's rank this division, guys. Regan, we'll start with you.
Indy at first, Tennessee, Jacksonville, Houston.
I have the same. Look at that. Ryan, how about you?
I have Tennessee repeating. Tennessee, Indy, Jacksonville, jumping Houston. I think we all agree with that. And that's it.
All right. Does Tennessee get the number 1 seed though?
I think if they can top Indy in the standings, they are probably in that 1 seed conversation.
That would make sense math-wise.
Yeah, we'll see.
I mean the AFC, Regan. Okay. Who invited this kid?
I went easy on you guys today. I'm tired.
I think we are too.
Yeah, there we go.
My soundboard's a bit delayed. I apologize. We'll edit that out later. Thank you, everyone, all you takers out there, for listening. Go ahead and leave a review. Be much appreciated. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just Tip, a fantasy football podcast. Leave a like. Leave a comment. Let us know on players if you agree, disagree. Some guy that you think we missed, a deep sleeper in this division. We'd love to hear from you. So let us know. Just a Tip, FFP. All right. You guys got anything for the leftovers? Nada. Huh?
No, I'm tapped out. It's past 10 o'clock. I'm a couple shots into some Jameson, and I'm ready for a nap, I think, or just bed.
All right. Oh, well, fine. I'll go.
What show did you watch?
No, it's a podcast actually. 4th of July coming up, so been listening to some history podcasts. So, Key Battles of the Revolutionary War, hosted by James Early and Scott Rank, historians. So, pretty interesting stuff if you're into that sort of thing. I'm only like 4 or 5 episodes in, but pretty interesting stuff. You learn something, Regan. Try it sometime.
Ain't putting anything else in this head. I'll tell you what.
Because it just falls out.
Just doesn't go in. Never made it in.
Oh, man. I started the music.
Sometimes that happens with me and Mac's mom.
I was just saying, that's what she said.
Yeah. Come on, guys. It's setting you guys up. Volley.
I was trying to do the sound drop, but I already have the music playing.
Sorry,
Can't do it. I can't multitask like that.
Oh, hey. Opposite of Ryan. I have live birds on my desk and a new planter. Didn't kill them. Letting them be. Let them live their life. I gotta call somebody to take them out. Be free, baby.
They're not in your house.
They're on my deck. They're shitting everywhere.
They're not in your house. They were in my house.
Yeah. Well, I had carpenter bees. I got them out real fast.
Carpenter bees.
Wild, dude.
What, they pollinate the wood?
Oh, yeah. Just like I pollinate your mom.
Whoa.